Hey guys, welcome to the think tank. Hey
Hi.
Mekci.
Hey, Frankie. Happy Friday, guys. It's a
Yes,
good
nice.
day to start
Eh?
the weekend. It's a good day to start the weekend. Yes.
Right? Every day is a good day to start the
Right.
weekend.
No kidding.
So, oh my word. How's everything going your direction? Are you guys warm, cold, windy? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
It says here 25 Celsius and mostly cloudy.
Okay. You're warmer than we are. We're 13 Celsius and the mountaintops are starting to get snow.
We've been getting a couple of rainstorms coming through. That's what we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Mhm.
we might get a cold front coming up depending on what the hurricane is doing, I guess.
Oh, have you got a hurricane in your area?
Not in my area, but like on the coast.
Is there again?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea which coastline. Which way is it heading? Oh. Oh.
Sorry, my roommate just walked in to tell me some news. To mute that out. That wasn't necessary for people to hear. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
there are those that happen.
yeah, right.
So, hey, hello, James, Chopper Dandy, DB. Up
Oh my
I go,
god.
Shauna.
Farquaad.
I
Oh my
know.
god. What's been going on in chat?
Fuck you,
You
right?
get membership.
A membership.
Thank you,
I'm
Farquaad.
not there yet. You guys have been chit chat.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm still not up at the top yet. Oh, hey, fuck you. Nice. Welcome. Yeah. I'm still dealing with, I don't know, I got some kind of bug.
Yeah, that's been going around. I was kind of laid out for a few days there.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to go out today and it was like, no.
It's
It just
terrible,
made
like, when
me.
you have, like, that congestion in your head, that
Y-
fog that we were talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible, like, you don't wanna deal with anyone, you're easily annoyed, you're just like, "Nobody talk to me."
That was pretty much me today. That was pretty much me. It's like, oh, but it is, like you say, it's that time of year. So at least a person, yesterday, I did that COVID test. I stuck that disgusting thing down my nose. It's like, oh, that's horrible. Well, like it is, like draw blood or something. Don't make me do
Yeah.
that.
And then you read the freaking box and you're like, "Wait, this isn't even accurate? Why did I just do that?
Well,
What?"
that's the thing. After you mentioned that, it was like, "Oh, oh, yeah. That's a hot toddy, eh,
Yeah,
James?"
so my parents fed me when I was a child.
Yeah, I don't drink, so
I don't blame them for why I like drinking.
yeah, I'd be more like, "Okay, well, yeah, that tasted good. Maybe I should just have a couple without the water, sugar, and honey, just a couple of them."
Without that added fructose. Trying to be healthy here.
Oh, goodness. It's when I was drinking, it's funny because, like, kind of my cutoff point was when the tip of my nose went numb. So you'd see me, I'd be walking around, like, poking the tip of my nose. "No, I can have another one. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good."
Nope, still okay. I can feel it.
Still
I'm good.
good. Yeah, it was like that ever since I was young, like, the tip of my nose goes numb, it's the weirdest thing. Yeah, that wasn't I don't like that chopper, that was no fun. I didn't like that whatsoever. Yeah, a brandy in the mountains, right? Do you wanna honestly know what I do? And now that I'm in for the day, um, I'll eat raw garlic. And, oh my
Just take a
word,
bite out of garlic?
I just break off a clove or 2, and, yeah,
Ooh.
I eat it. I love garlic, so it doesn't bother me any, but, yeah, it really yeah, I'd rather spit in a cup. I seen that, I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, but no, I've done that always. Um, if I don't think I really want that big of a jolt, I'll make a cheese whiz and slice the garlic. But yeah, not only does it scare bugs away, it scares humans away too.
Vampires, I hear. Okay, thing as well.
Don't breathe on me.
I've never
You really stink.
I'd be like, "No, no, no, don't bring that around me, okay? Don't. You can stand over there and talk to me, I don't need to
Yeah,
smell
oh,
it."
for sure.
Um,
It will light me up.
I like
Raw
garlic, I
garlic will
never
light
thought
you
about
up.
just taking a bite out of it like that. Like, I
Yeah,
like
I just eat the cloves. I
minced
just
garlic cooked into things is good, but
yeah,
hmm.
yeah, fresh garlic, ginger, and honey, just like Dandy's saying there. You bet. It will light me up. Do you mean I can get, like, ripped from eating garlic? Are you just telling me a real cool secret?
Yeah. I just try to, like, eat hot, steamy food when I'm sick, like, that's my thing, with a lot of,
Oh,
like,
for
crushed red
sure.
pepper or something, like, just to
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Chopper, they still sell those. You can still get garlic pills.
What?
Yeah, they're in with your vitamins and stuff.
Maybe.
Mhm. Truly, truly.
I had no
Mhm.
idea. You learn something new every day, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, they're like anything else that's got its medicinal qualities, right? But I'm still trying to figure out it will light me up. What will happen?
I'm wondering
Light me up.
if you could,
Should
like,
I
break
just,
up
like, take a whole head of garlic and sit here and start munching?
I just Do you remember those, like, candy bracelets or candy necklaces that we had
Yes.
as kids? It's that
Those were so
you
yummy.
just walk around with garlic.
Oh, yeah, easily,
Chewing
easily.
on it all day.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, but yeah, when I realized what it I mean, it'll clear your sinuses up right now. It's it's nice. Yeah, it's good for the heart. It's good for the heart. So, well, Richard Allen, what is going on with the Delphi case, friend?
A
Oh
lot
my
of, concerning things.
yeah,
My opinion,
yeah.
from what I've gathered, from what I've read so far, it's kind of concerning.
Yeah, it's a "Hey, Kiska, good to see you, friend. Good to see you." A raw orange, I could do that. So, I think well, we were talking about it just before the show. I've got to about 81 pages 3 times now. That's about how far I made it originally, and then I went in to start redacting, and it was acting a little weird, so I refreshed it, and I lost everything I redacted, so I had to start over again.
Yeah, I haven't gotten past, I think, 60 pages, but I've reread those. I've reread a certain section a couple of times just because.
Like how they were redressing?
Yeah, that section I kind of reread a few times because it was,
Well, it's very disturbing.
it is, but what I take from it, and I'm not like beyond the religion part of it and all of that,
Mhm.
what I see is that it took time. This,
Mhm.
that whole
Mhm.
scene took time. And I don't know if that is possible for one person to do in the amount of time that they're saying that they did it. And that's just one of many things that's in the paperwork that I've read so far that is concerning. Um, the accusations of Leggett, that one of the investigators, I will say his
Yeah.
name because he's on the probable cause,
Yep. Yep.
is
I wasn't
concerning.
redacting his name.
Yeah, that's concerning to me. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
and what I know is that the defense so far has like several things that they can use as reasonable doubt. Several things. And that's
That's very true.
um
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Everything from Keegan Kline to Ron Logan to all those other guys that they looked into. I mean, if they wanted a way, there is that to it. There was a lot of other ways to bring on that reasonable doubt. This is pretty crazy. This is just like, what? Are you kidding me? You're trying to tell me what? And I mean, I just don't know what to think of it. Do you know, Chopper? That's really interesting you say that because I'm thinking, why would he? What's to say that he didn't have them stripped down before anything happened? Both of them.
that's exactly what it sounds like from the
Yeah.
description. That's kind of why I had to read it a few times because I was like, is this really what they're saying?
Mhm.
That there was nothing on the clothes.
Mhm.
Her being
Yeah,
redressed, there was nothing on the clothes. And that's
exactly.
kind of strange.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I know, not Ron Logan back in play. I I don't think so personally,
But I mean,
but
Ron Logan himself was always going to be a good patsy. He's a good, another good thing for probable cause for defense. If they throw his name in
absolutely.
there, that would have been a good thing. Like, or not a good thing, but
Mhm.
a strategy on the defense side.
Right. Right. Oh, it is just the most bizarre paperwork I have ever read. It really, really is.
Mhm.
It's it is horrific, even what I've gotten through, and there's more, like, there's lots more, and it's not a nice read. It's just
It's not.
really not. You know, a lot of people have put all sorts of stuff out, like, they've basically not redacted anything, and it's like, "Oh my." I mean, it's out there.
Yeah.
Whether it was an accident or not, um, it's out there. They can't take it back in now. As soon as it hit that internet, it was, like, off and running, you know? You can't take that back. It's out there.
Mhm. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
people got a hold of it, they saw what they saw, and even if you wanna try and seal it now or redact it, you can't take it back from the internet. That's not
no, it's there
gonna
now,
happen.
and, you know, I started watching some stuff a while back, earlier today, and, some people redact the names. Some
Mhm.
people don't. Some of the people that I thought wouldn't get into the gore
Did.
were all over it. It's like, oh, I cannot help but think about the family. It hurts my heart for them. It's just like, oh my God. I don't know if they knew a lot of these facts that are alleged facts. I have no idea. And if they hadn't, and stuff is true, what a way to learn, you know? And I don't know if it's true, but Joseph Morrison, is that his name? Morris, that guy? Rumor has it that he's doing something with this case too. So that makes me uncomfortable.
Joseph, are you talking about the YouTuber who puts out
Yeah,
fake
huh?
news?
Yeah, huh?
Oh goodness.
Yes. Yeah. No,
Well,
I don't know if
everyone
it's
knows to
fact.
ignore
I
him.
didn't look.
I would just just ignore him like the plague, guys.
Oh God. But the sad thing is people just, he's got a fair amount of followers.
Yeah, because people like that drama,
And then they share that drama.
Mhm.
That's the thing. And then they like to put it out as fact. It's like, oh my word, how did you ever get back on? Personal opinion, yucky.
It's always recommended, guys, that you always do your own research.
Absolutely. I have a
know.
banner for that. Oh, I don't on this one. I've got it on the other one.
just look it up yourself. That's always the best thing. Form your own opinion and then
100%.
take everyone else's as just that, just opinion.
Yeah. And you have to, because there's going to be a lot of opinions right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right, Libby.
Yeah.
It sounds like Libby didn't have any on.
Yeah.
And Abby had both of their clothes on.
Yep.
And anything that was remaining was thrown in the river. Yeah, speculation.
Yeah. It's all speculation. I mean, and again, guys, like I'm sure a lot of you guys have read it yourself. Hey. Hey. That's right. I know a lot of you guys have probably read it for yourselves, so you know what's in there and what's being said. And of course, this is the defense looking at evidence, photos, video, whatever it is that they took, documented at the time when it happened. That's what the defense, they're looking at it and it's like, they're like, this is what we see. And they're trying to paint a picture for us in this document. And some of it does seem a little long-winded, the steps that were taken, but I do appreciate the defense actually doing that, because they really did try to tell a story, and that's kind of I appreciate that.
All of those 90 somethings though, if you take out everything that they've repeated on each line, it doesn't leave a lot. I went through and I just put in not the stuff that they had already said, just the little line of update. And it would be, they put another shoe on her.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of what I wanted to do, was go through, and I'll probably do that this weekend, was mark through those parts where it's like, that's not necessary kind of thing. But most of it is, they really are taking you step by step of how it would have been, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Or what they think.
I just think they're stretching it out too much.
I think they're trying to drive in a point, and they succeeded, I think, in driving in that point, whether it is Odinist'S or not. I think what they were really trying to do is let people know, it sounds really impossible just for one person to do this, but only one person is being charged. And one
Right.
person is being called out on the probable cause. One person got search warrant, and one person is getting charged, right? So what they're saying is like, you guys are saying it's one person, but you don't even believe that yourself. That's another thing that's being said in that document, is that even the investigators don't think it was just one
Well,
guy.
that's one thing that they said.
Well, we've heard it too from the actual prosecutor. He did a thing with the news one day shortly after he was arrested, where he actually said, we arrested this guy for this, and hey, but this doesn't mean that it's closed. We're still looking for information of anyone else involved. He said it himself. So like, how can you make this probable cause that says that it's one guy, but you yourself are saying that there's others? Like, it's
and I still think one guy could have done it. I just do. That's I mean, just my personal opinion, and it does not mean that I am right
so
in any way, shape, or form.
here's how I feel about one guy doing it. And I'm starting, but I also have a really hard time believing that myself, right? Like this theory I'm about to give you is like, one guy could have done it if he didn't do it there. Right, like he somehow was able to corral them and maybe take them somewhere else and then do what they did. But then I have a hard time with that, because I'm like, how the hell did he get them back into that area when cops were already swarming there? They were everywhere. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have not heard anything about, oh, but we already looked there and they weren't there. I've never heard anything along those lines.
I want to know where those searches went. I know that they were found on Ron Logan's property. So because it was private property, did they not walk into that? But how would you know in the middle of the night, like searching for someone, that you're walking onto someone else's property? You wouldn't, right? Like, you just think that you're still walking probably on like government land or parkland or whatever.
I just do not see him walking on that highway. I don't see it.
I've always found that one really hard to believe.
No, if he had to go back up and through that cemetery, it's the only thing that makes any kind of sense. There's no way that a guy's going to do all of this and not leave anything behind, but then he goes and walks down a highway?
Yeah.
No.
You know, and I know, like, this brings back that comment that where people were like, I think Blifton says it a lot, like, why would, with Ron Logan, if Ron Logan did it, why would he leave him on his property, right?
That's how I feel.
Well, if you just committed something so heinous, why the hell would you go walking down a highway in broad daylight?
That's my
for
thoughts.
an extended period of time where many people could see you. Why would you do that? That's dumb. Like,
it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. So, you know, I was thinking that statement, Perry, that you made about they are not how you left them. My mind, oh my word, that has stood out probably more than anything. So by him saying that, we know that it was not pleasant. Whatever happened there was not good.
no.
It wasn't going to be just, I mean, not that it's just, but he made us aware that it was a graphic scene, you know. They were about an eighth of a mile from the bridge. Not far at all,
Yeah.
but they were around a little bit of a bend.
And
So
in kind of like a little hole, not hole, but like there was like an indention.
like a little kind of like a little ditch almost.
Yeah.
Like a little
in this land. So
and they were up a bit of an embankment.
yeah. So the embankment went up, and then there was kind of like a little hole, like a big they were embedded in it. It's if we could show you the terrain, it would probably make sense. But
Where did I
they weren't
see?
easily seen, I guess you would say.
No, no. And one thing about being in a bunch of trees, they do work as a sound barrier. They're not the best for acoustics. Unless it's cold and all the trees have lost their leaves or something along those lines, then it changes everything again. But first off, I don't think that they had time to make a lot of noise. I just don't think they did. I don't know if it was somebody had like a sock in the mouth, or I don't know how everything was controlled. But I think it was doable. I think it was doable because like I say, I don't believe that she's seen Ron Logan walking down the highway. That makes no sense. It makes no sense to me, which then means that person had it until what, about 5 o'clock? That changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
I pulled up the kind of like a terrain looking map.
Hey, Mom, good to see you, friend. They weren't far at all, James. Yeah, like I think what I read said like 1/8 of a mile, just a little bit around that bend. And one thing that they cannot explain is why Richard said that he was on that bridge watching the fish.
Yeah,
He said
that. Makes sense.
Yeah, that man said that. And it's like, what? Okay. You were watching the fish with your bionic eyeballs. Gotcha.
That comment always gets me, man. It's like I was watching the fish. You're watching the fish. It's like watching paint dry. I don't even understand.
Well, and how would you, when you're that high up, go gadget eyeballs? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Enhance.
Enhance.
Yeah, the comment was kind of, and this map that we're looking at right now, it's not absolutely accurate. I'm not sure that's where they were located. That's what the heart signifies is the location of them, but you can kind of see how the terrain there elevates, and I'm assuming that they were kind of probably found in this.
And I think they were closer down even, because they were pretty close to that creek. It was like an incline.
Yeah.
So I just think that
maybe like you can kind of see the edges here of where there would be. So again, this isn't absolutely accurate. I don't know, but it's somewhere in here. So they couldn't actually be seen from the river when they were searching.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't. Exactly. 100% they wouldn't. Incoming terrain pics. Yeah, he was watching the fish fly by. Yeah, from half a football field away.
Yeah, here's where the bridge is, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So just around the bend.
Yeah. If they had dogs from that, and that's what I find really strange is from what we know of how things kind of went down, right? So at a certain time, someone was actually there to pick them up. And they didn't respond. So they immediately started searching, yelling out their names, all of these
Yeah.
things are happening. So there's already people on foot looking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
this guy was able to do all this in this location.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know. He just did it all in this location within an hour. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes because it would take a second to actually march them down,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
go walk them down, and then cross that river that should have been maybe like, what, 2 to 3 feet deep at the time?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
With
They said that it
2 girls, 1 guy crossing a bridge, like a river like that, a flowing kind of
well, he had
stream
a
like that.
weapon too. So I mean
Yeah,
he could have had them on hustle, like get going, get going.
with them walking in front of him.
Them in front of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, crossing any kind of water that has some stream to it, you still have to
Mm-hmm.
keep your balance.
Yeah, you do.
You
Yeah,
have
you do.
to kind of
I don't
struggle
think
with that as well.
I
And
don't well,
I
I
took
don't
that into
find that
account,
to be I don't find that to be a very fast river. I I spend a lot of time walking through water. That's
I
one
don't
thing I
know.
do a lot
Did you
of.
ever did you ever see that video? And I think it was Indie Archives that posted it. There was
Mhm.
an actual video of the searchers going through the water, and there was like a group of 5 of them, and like water was actually streaming somewhat
Was it
rapidly. Like,
was it?
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I've
know,
watched
man.
fish
I
jumping
don't know.
upstream. Yeah, salmon. Yeah, I don't know. Like it would I think I just however long it took him, I think there was still longer afterwards. I really don't think that was him on the highway, so I think he would have had time to do all sorts of sick shite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, Perry, what I'm talking about is like this is the searchers that were searching for them, and this is the very next day. Or,
Mhm.
so it
Mhm.
wouldn't the stream is going, it's actually
Ye
flowing, so that's
yeah.
within a day, like,
Yeah, so it's very accurate.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I love salmon.
Ew. I don't eat
Ew.
anything from the water. I don't eat anything from the water. Nope, I don't go in the water. Oh, no, it's okay, Perry.
I like, I play in rivers and creeks. I just love it. I find it relaxing and yeah, that was that Klein search.
Yeah, that one took a few days.
Yeah.
And that one was strange too, man. I don't know about this case. Like, like, I'm really confused now. Like,
Oh, that just threw like one hell of a like whoop-de-doo into things, didn't it?
I wonder, like, how many coincidences are too many? Like,
Mhm.
Keegan Klein, Ron Logan's property, Richard
Mhm.
Allen, these guys, these new ones that are being introduced. Like, it's just everyone has some sort of connection. It's just really, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's just I think with me anyways, I'm still not wrapping my head around the whole thing. You and I have both taken fairly good looks into these characters. Somehow, in order for it to work for me, the main guy whose son dated Abby, that guy,
Mhm.
um, he would have to somehow connect in my mind to the Kleins. just because I am not fine. I cannot wrap my head around thinking that Keegan Kline is just a random wild card.
He's
And
not. He's
yeah.
not at all.
So, like, I'm thinking,
And,
did some of these guys have access to this Dropbox?
I've been doing some research. Don't ask me why. I was looking up a lot of things about trafficking,
Mhm.
children specifically.
Mhm.
Because it happens, right? It's everywhere. It goes on. It probably happens in your neighborhood and you have no idea.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
these guys will do a thing where they just make an email. You can make it with Gmail, probably.
Mhm.
And they make the email with a password and they share it with
Mhm.
whoever they want to.
Whatever other sicko.
Right. And what they do is they communicate via draft email. So they don't ever actually send anything. They make a draft. They say what they want to say.
Oh my word, the
And then somebody
sneaky
else
little buggers.
will come in and log in and then look at the draft and then make another draft and respond.
Yeah. 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 Isn't that something? That's I mean, it would do it. Yeah. So, yeah, he did have access to that Shots account, and Keegan has thrown it around a little bit that, his dad was responsible for a lot of this. He also at one point said that he was pulled over on the side of the highway in a red Jeep waiting for someone to come up the hill from the Monon bridge, basically.
The dude puts himself there. Like, it's like, why?
He did.
Why would you do that?
And now the only person that had a red Jeep would have been his dad. His dad owned a red Jeep. So does that put Tony down there with Richard Allen? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
It's like,
and these are like theories that people don't ever really want to talk about because, I know me and you talk about them with each other where it's like a bigger thing. And those things
mhm,
happen. Those things are real. Like this big
absolutely.
organization of just creepers who have somehow found each other and just relay information to each other.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's a business for them. And
Yeah.
it's not far-fetched. I know it sounds crazy and like it's out there, but it's not far-fetched. It's not.
Right. Yeah. It's well, and it's not. But I have to put whoever was involved in this in Keegan Kline's orbit.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do, or in Tony Kline's orbit. And we can almost we know that Tony Kline and Richard Allen were raised really, really close to each other.
Yeah. What was that? Peru, right? That's what we're looking at now.
Mhm.
Allegedly, they were
Peru.
like a couple of blocks, like literally right down the street.
And we want to throw in another coincidence. Who has a purple PT Cruiser,
Yeah. Tony Klein's
right?
mother or grandmother.
Yeah, Tony
Or
Kline's mom.
mother, which
Yeah.
would be Keegan's grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is the possibilities of there being another purple PT Cruiser in that area?
Not a lot of people
Like,
own purple cars, period, let alone a PT Cruiser.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my word. There's just a lot of things, I just personally, I just think that all of these guys are a really good distraction that might get this case
Absolutely.
thrown out.
They're good, reasonable doubts.
Patsies, yeah,
They're good
they're
reasonable doubts, like
absolutely. Yeah, they were definitely catfished, and that is too much of a coincidence. So I remember Keegan Kline having that interview with the Murder Sheet, and he said that he was only responsible out of those 25 charges that were left, because he had the 30, they dropped 5 when that river surge happened,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So he said that he was only responsible for maybe 7 of those charges. So who else had access to his phone and to Anthony shots? Well, Tony Kline, right?
Mhm. A plus B. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, uh, I'm not finding a link yet, other than they might have been neighbors.
Do you remember? I don't even think I ever even finished going through that. It was so long. It's a super long transcript of Keegan Kline talking to
Mhm,
cops. He was talking to the cops.
mhm.
I maybe went through like 136 pages, and I wasn't even like halfway done. But
Oh,
there's like things in there where he kind of he does say that, like, he's like, we went to Las Vegas and one of my dad's friends
mhm,
joined us. And it's redacted.
mhm,
And he says that he's like, well, you contacted so and so on this day from here, and he was like, I didn't do that. Like, and
mhm,
he seems like
mhm.
really adamant about it. And I'm just like reading words on a paper, so I don't really know. I wasn't there,
Right.
but he sounds kind of adamant about it. Like, he just keeps saying, like, no, I that wasn't me. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
other people knew my stuff. Like, they could have act like it was there.
Mhm.
And he had
Yeah,
several phones, is a thing. He didn't just have
yeah,
one at a time. Like, he had several phones at a time.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So you have to
Ay,
wonder,
ay, ay.
right? He's admitting to some things, but maybe he's not admitting to like the big. I mean, I feel like Keegan is soft enough, per se,
Mhm,
that he would admit to the bigger picture. Now that I think about it, like, I feel like he would just admit to the bigger picture of the whole thing if there was one.
mhm. Well, if you believe what he said to the Murder Sheet, he's saying, "I've told them many times," and he's talking about the cops, and he said, "They won't believe me." So, I don't know where
Are they
I
just
don't know what he
refusing to believe him? Is that what we're seeing here?
that's what he's saying.
And I'm
Yeah,
supposed to believe him because he's a
that's it.
chomo, you know?
That's
Like,
it. Well, and that's the thing, you know?
I mean, how good
Like
is your
his
word? I wanna believe
absolutely.
you because
You can't.
he did kinda admit that he did those things, right? Like,
Mhm. That's true.
um, I kinda do wanna give him a little bit of
A little
benefit,
bit of
like,
credit.
and he
Mhm.
puts himself in places that he doesn't have to put himself there, like, necessarily. I don't, especially because he was never charged with the girls, right? He
Mhm.
he was never charged with anything with them, relating to them, just something
No.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I'm not convinced there's not more happening as far as even Tony Klein goes
Yeah,
behind the
maybe
scenes.
it was Tony. And
You
it's
know,
not
like
Keegan. Keegan doesn't really know anything. And I mean, he's guilty of things, right? He admits to that.
mhm,
But it's really
mhm.
Tony. And then Tony's the manipulator and the person that's he just tells Keegan, "Hey, you're gonna go and sit by that bridge and you're gonna wait." Period. And he
That
does
could
it.
be. Yeah, we're talking about Bridge Guy.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, James, is the Shots investigation still going? I believe it is. Um, they're not saying anything about it, but I don't know. I think there's a heck of a lot more to Anthony Shots than just Keegan Klein. It's just my thoughts,
Yeah,
you know.
I think that it's possible that Keegan made an account and then just shared it.
Mhm,
That's possible, like the same way we were talking about like that Gmail or like the Dropbox. Like he just made an
mhm,
account and shared the information, and then
mhm.
whoever wanted to talked. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that
That's
could very
possible.
well be. Yeah. Yeah, that could very well be. There's just in my mind, there's more going on. So, with this just coming out, it's what they seemed to do last time. Stuff was starting to break, so they automatically made this arrest, right? And they got Richard Allen locked up. So now it's like things are moving a little bit again. Are they going to get forced to play a hand we don't even know that they have? Could that be some of the
I think
maybe
that's what the Franks hearing is going to be about. Like
right?
the and that's probably going to be also under seal. No one's going to see that.
Mhm.
The prosecution
Yeah,
will probably have to give up some info that they're not
that's what I'm.
sharing.
Yeah, yeah. I know. You see a lot of people that are talking about this, and everybody's got a different idea of how it's going to um, get resolved. Who said what? And there's just, like we were just saying, this just really threw a kink into like everything. I mean, I just think that we're all just kind of like, what the hell? Where do we look now? Up, down, around the corner?
I
Do
was
you know
gonna
what
say
I
something
mean?
really vulgar, and then I was like, "Wait, I can't."
Wait, I can't. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Mm.
Doesn't it just kinda leave us confused, Shauna? Like, it's just like, "What?" "Hello, Dave. Good to see you, friend."
Yes, exactly, Bruja. That's yeah.
It's like, "Yes, exactly, Bruja." We look for a great therapist.
I'm looking at the planet Uranus. No clues found there. Um, it leaves me just uh, concerned with the little bit that I've read.
Mhm,
I'm just concerned now
mhm.
about
Yeah.
a lot of things. Um,
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's true that Leggett literally falsified paperwork, there's there's big trouble. You know, these girls
big,
might never
big,
get
big,
justice.
big, 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 big trouble. Big trouble
Yeah.
because um no one is saying nowhere like in the document where they're saying that like Richard Allen didn't do it, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But if the other things is beyond the religion, guys, again, like I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at
Mhm.
everything else.
Mhm.
If what they're saying
Mhm.
is true, that this investigator, because they have the original statements from when they first
Mhm.
took them. If the words that he used in the probable cause are not the words that were in the original statement, that's a
Yeah.
big problem.
What they're
Very big.
saying is that this guy left stuff out of the probable cause
Or added.
or added some stuff. Yeah, he altered the probable cause document. So I did put out this morning a video. I just went over um
The probable cause. Yeah.
the probable cause. Yeah, because it really is with all of this stuff happening. It's nice to be able to have that as a reference to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
This yeah. Yeah, this late in the game, you know what I mean? Like,
And we
it
don't
just
know, again, we don't know if that's true, right? Like, we don't have the original statements.
that's right.
That's
Yeah.
evidence. So, like, we're not going to have that. That'll come out in court if
Mhm.
and when we get there.
Yeah.
Um, but
January.
it's a really big deal, because if that is true, this whole case can get thrown out.
Yeah.
That means the probable cause is nothing. That means that everything they got from the house as evidence is absolutely nothing.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And you have to start all over.
Yeah.
Now, it's also a big deal, because if the defense is lying, because they have all the evidence again in front of them, right?
Mhm.
And they wrote this document. If anything in this document is false on their part,
Mhm.
they're in big trouble, because they can get disbarred.
Right. Right.
So this is kind of like what I take from the document is like, wow, this is kind of like serious. I don't think these two guys, they're practicing. They both have their own law firms. They're state appointed, and they're pretty serious. Like, I don't think they would risk their careers
Mhm.
for this guy, this
Right.
just some random person that they got appointed to because they're capable of handling the case. Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
So that's what I also find really concerning about the document, is that it's like
Mhm. Well, and I agree with you, Dave. Like, this is exactly why I dislike gag orders. It does nothing but muddy the waters. It doesn't do anybody any favors. You know, we're watching them do this with the Koberger case right now, where they are trying to basically keep everything out. And it's just adding more and more confusion.
yeah.
And now this is a perfect example of, just like Dave said, this is the problem with gag orders. It just leaves way too much room for mistake and judgment. You know, the stuff that we've heard up until this time is just literally, it just points to Richard Allen. Everything has that we've seen. And now they're saying it's like, no, now that we're gonna look over here at all of these Odinists, it's like, what? I've never even heard of an Odinist. And now it's like a rampant bunch of, like, worshipers that are going out and attacking little kids. It's like, what? Oh my.
And I've heard some really good points about that too. They're like, if it really was like a cult thing, like, where are the other ones? Where
Exactly.
are the other ones in the area? Like,
That's right.
um,
That's right. It's like, no. It's just right? I'm seeing that, I was just looking as you started to giggle. Oh my goodness. Well said,
I don't
Chopper.
even know what that an odd nudist. What is that? Like, a
Well,
person that wears no like there's nothing covering their actual parts, but they wear like a sports bra or something.
like this.
An
That
odd
like
nudist.
that.
It's hilarious.
Ay, ay, ay. Let's see here. I had said back when they kept that PCA sealed, it would be a problem. Well, this is the thing. It's like, oh, nice. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
And I don't want to be like that annoying person, you know, because like to be honest, it really isn't none of our business. Is it? No. But we're freaking Nozettas over here. We're like, I want to know. I want to know.
Well, yeah,
Tell me
like,
the answers to my questions.
oh my God. Well, the thing is when you look at that one fellow, and I mean, they're out there by the water, middle of the night with like torches, doing whatever the heck you do. And it's like,
Hallelujah.
yeah, yeah, wouldn't that be something? He's just like, oh my goodness. Just to have
God.
like these horrible beliefs are just like, it blows me out of the water how people can be that evil.
I don't
So I'll read a little bit
can't.
of this. So it is that memorandum, and this is for basically the motion for that Frank's hearing. Let me see here.
Just go to
So
page
they,
4. Just go to page 4. 8 things you
yeah.
need to know. Like,
All right. 8 things you need to know. So, overwhelming evidence in this case supports the following. Number 1, members of a pagan Norse religion called Odism, hijacked by white nationalists, ritualistically sacrificed the girls. 2, very early on, those in charge of the Delphi case claim that they consulted with a Purdue professor concerning what resembled possible Odism signatures left behind at the crime scene. After the Purdue professor proclaimed that la-di-da-da-da, that it was not an Odinistic or Odinism or any type of cult worshiping or any type of group that would have conducted the crime. The Odinism angle was essentially abandoned. However, as of September 7th, 2023, the leaders of the Delphi investigation team, 1, claim that they can't identify the purported professor. 2, have provided no reports from this purported professor. And 3, have further indicated they may never be able to figure out who this professor is, based in large part upon this mystery. Purdue professor's opinion, the Delphi investigative leadership claim that it essentially abandoned considering Odinite involvement in these passings. And then the years passed, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. Thankfully, during those passing years, law enforcement's blah, 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 blah continued to pursue the truth. Because of their curiosity and investigative efforts, the evidence establishing the names of the likely members of this Odinite cult became known to the Delphi investigative leadership no later than in February. Where did I get March? February 2018, due to either incompetence or a concerted intentionality. Those in charge of the investigation refused to arrest or properly investigate these obvious suspects.
Guys, you all know that I really love everything technical. I love law jargon, although I barely understand it. The defense comes out swinging, man. They throw in jabs. There's like incompetence or just a lack of will. I don't know. Like just it's so great. I love this kind of stuff. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
You like your paperwork and you do. Yeah, you like it all organized and falling into place.
And I like that little snotty jab. I do like those. Those are nice. Yeah. All right, carry on. Go.
Yeah. Oh my word. All right. Let's get back. So 3. On May 1st, 2023, the state of Indiana, by way of prosecutor Nick McClelland, received a letter from Rushville Assistant Police Chief Todd Click, now retired. As stated in the previous paragraph, Click, Murphy, and Ferenczi were 3 of the law enforcement officers who worked on the Delphi case, particularly focused on the Odinite angle as it intersected with suspects in Rushville, Indiana. After reading Richard Allen's probable cause affidavit, Click became concerned that the information contained in Richard Allen's affidavit pointing the finger to Richard Allen was far less compelling than the totality of the information that Detective Ferenczi, Detective Murphy, and Officer Click had accumulated during the Rushville portion of the investigation. The information that Murphy, Ferenczi, and Click had gathered during the investigation connected men who practice Odinism in or near Delphi with another group of men who lived in Rushville, and then connected both groups to the deaths. Click was concerned that for some reason the leadership of the investigation team had failed to share with prosecutor McClelland and evidence gathered by Click, Ferenczi, and Murphy. Click's concern led him to seek out a lawyer to assist him in drafting of a letter. This letter was sent to McClelland. Okay, I'm just going to do this really fast. The letter was not provided to the defense until after it was obvious from the last round of depositions that the defense, who had doggedly pursued witnesses as far away as Georgia, would certainly be talking with Todd Click. McClelland had this letter in his possession for over 4 months before turning it over to the defense. There can be no mistaking that this letter is exculpatory in nature and could have been used by the defense as it prepared for upcoming depositions. However, it's apparent that McClelland only offered up the letter after it was obvious that the defense team would be learning of the letter's existence. In other words, the defense team would obviously meet with or deposing Click in the next few weeks. At that time, Click most certainly would then reveal to the defense that in April 2023, that he had sent a letter containing exculpatory information to McClelland. At this point, McClelland had two distinct choices. One, sit on the exculpatory evidence, hoping the defense team would refocus its efforts on another angle of the investigation, or two, disclose the exculpatory evidence, claiming the contents of the letter were overlooked in the volume of discovery. He chose the latter. Unfortunately for the state, neither approach explains away the fact that Click specifically directed the letter to McClelland himself, and further, Click was also was so determined to ensure his information was consumed by McClelland that he directed the information directly to McClelland via certified mail. The letter is stamp received May 1st, 2023, Carroll County Prosecutor. Click's report landed at Ground Zero, a prosecutor's office with no more than 2 full-time prosecutors and a handful of full-time staff members at best. Could this exculpatory evidence have been completely overlooked? Not plausible. Not only did the prosecution withhold the letter from the defense, but law enforcement also withheld several other exculpatory pieces of evidence, including an 85-page compilation of reports by Click, prepared in 2019, and several videos containing statements that support the defense's theory that Richard Allen's innocent. This 85-page report details the investigative work performed by Click, Ferenczi, Murphy, and others, including the FBI.
And that's why that's concerning. Like, this is also part of the thing that's concerning about this document, if what they're saying is true. So, as a cop, right? If you're a cop, any investigating that you do, you just turn it over to the prosecution.
Yeah.
All of it. And the prosecution decides what the state decides what part of all your investigating is crucial to their case. But whatever they receive from the investigation, they need to turn over to the defense.
Absolutely.
All of it. Even the stuff that the prosecution said, oh, we don't need this. It's not important. It doesn't matter. You need to turn it over.
Right.
And the defense is saying that that's not what they did.
Yeah.
And
see, I wasn't even sure if people were cleared, if all that information had to be shared as well. But you said yes, right?
It has to be. Like, all the
I mean, it makes sense.
Is turned over, and then they have to turn that over. Yes, they have to. Because it was part of their investigation. All of it.
Part of discovery, is that what they would?
Yeah, it was part of the investigation for law enforcement. Like, this is what we did during that time here. And they turn it all over, and that the state has to turn it over to the defense.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, the guy that they're talking about as another suspect, his son dated Abby for a while. Yeah. And somehow Becky Patty also knew that this kid's dad was into this stuff. And actually, it looks like the son's gone into that direction as well.
Well, that's where they got the information from originally. Was from her.
From Becky Patty. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm wondering, like, how, if she knew, what was it? Basically, was it from Abby being around that she knew about this guy, or?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man.
This
I'm
is just
laughing because I did I looked into it. I looked at that guy,
ay,
both of
ay,
them,
ay.
and I was looking at locations and where they were at certain times and things that they were wearing,
Mhm.
and I just I don't
Yeah, it
know.
looks like there was a bit more of an age gap, right?
Yeah, I just I'm just gonna say I don't know because I don't even want to go into that. Because it's all speculation. I'm not gonna put that out there. What I think
Mhm.
isn't important. Like it's all speculation. So
Yeah. Yeah, well said, Dave. Yeah. Like, what? It's just it's brutal. Voodoo-related practices here on the island, if we're to say one is prevalent.
yeah,
Okay.
these things happen,
Yeah.
and they're not.
David Koresh talked to him as well. It's just, ay, ay, ay.
It's a thing. I mean, cults have been around for a long time. They're still going on now. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It just, in this particular case, it was just like a hard left turn. Like, it just came out of nowhere. It's not like people in the community were kind of chit-chatting about this being on the outskirts. It's just all of a sudden it's like bam, there's this group over here and this is what they do, and it's like, what? Even though you know that this stuff happens. And I
mhm.
mean, heck, it's probably out here as well in my little area, because I mean, people are weird, right?
People are weird. Yeah, people are absolutely weird. And each to their own, man. Like, I'm not here to
Mhm.
hate on anyone. If that's what you
I hate
believe,
on them if they're like, I am a total hater if they are harming little kids and like
yeah, obvious, yeah.
run around like hail Satan. It's like, what? Yeah, I just can't,
Hey,
I can't
I
roll with
don't
you,
care
buddy.
about that. Like, if you want to go around saying "Hail Satan," as long as you're not harming anyone, I don't really care. Like, I
Well,
don't,
I don't think they're
you
gonna
know,
be out
like.
doing good things though. That's the thing.
But
Like,
a lot of people don't have that harming bone in their body. They might believe whatever they believe, but they don't have that.
but isn't that
I'm gonna
kind
go
of
do
what
this. Now, extremists might, um, but everyone has an extremist group in every religion. Like, we all do. I mean, whatever
mhm,
it is that you believe in, there's always going to
mhm.
be an extreme side of that. And
I do not know one person that goes hail Satan. I do not
neither
know
do
one person,
I.
and I don't wanna.
Neither do
Like, no, you
I.
just you stay over there, buddy. You just That's all good. You stay over
And I
there.
know the one time I've ever heard someone actually yell that out, I was like in Spanish, I was like, en nombre del Padre, el Hijo, Espíritu Santo.
Oh my word. It's just
Salma,
like,
Salma.
what? Yeah, you go play over there. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
my own
don't
sandbox.
come around me, bro.
Yeah, don't come around me no more, no more. Hey, Melissa, good to see you, friend. Yeah, it's just like, what? Unreal.
Dude, you have to, bruja. You have to. Like, you just gotta give those people that. Like, no me padre, el Hijo. Just throw. If you have water in here, just start throwing at them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see you melt. You melt, you some biatch. Good to see you, Emily.
Oh man. And again, guys, like in this whole thing, we have to look at this like the onus part of it. Where is everything else?
I'm a bliffonite. Nice.
Who said that?
That's good.
Who said that? Oh my god.
You see, this is what my biggest problem is, Perry. Like, can you imagine the families? Like, oh, it rips my heart apart. I mean, to have this kind of chaos thrown into this case, they've got to be mortified. I can't even imagine.
Yo, since
I
we're
mean,
kinda talking about this, can I just give out I don't know if anyone's seen the special 48 Hours Dead with the families from the Moscow kids, the students
oh,
killed. And
48 hours, was
yeah,
it?
yeah. The Goncalves family,
Mm-hmm.
yo, they are troopers. Like, they are everything I
Mm-hmm.
think everyone will want to be. And like, I have tears in my eyes, like, thinking about this because so strong. They immediately went into action.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just have so much respect for them, and they fight for Kaylee, and they fight for Maddie, and they fight for all of them.
Every one of them. Yeah. You bet. That's quite the
And
case, that one too. Mm.
it breaks my heart, but I'm like really proud of them. I really am proud of
Oh,
them.
yeah. They're admirable, very admirable the way that they are dealing with what they've been served. I mean,
Yeah,
holy.
no one deserves that. And I think they did, and they're doing really well.
And the whole family, not just the parents, but look at the sister, Olivia, and
Yo,
yeah,
Olivia's a champ.
extraordinary.
She's the freaking champion.
She is. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? With this case, same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, they were all out. They were not going to stop. "Oh, I don't wanna look up their Bible, Bruja." No.
Uh,
No, I don't even want my eyes
yeah.
to see that kinda crap. No, no, no.
I mean, yeah, it goes to Abby and Libby's family immediately going into action and trying to
Mhm.
just do something and find
Absolutely.
their
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
And
Bruja just got in trouble from Streamlabs.
why? What'd you
Please
do?
please refrain from spamming caps. Where is I don't even see it.
Bruja, come back. We'll time out the Streamlab thing. Don't even worry.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Streamlabs is on it.
It used to get
Or
Perry all the time too, didn't it? Or was it
James, I
James?
think. Yeah, it would go after James, and then after that, Sean accidentally timed him out. Like, okay. Extreme left and an extreme right are like two ends of a horseshoe almost touching. Well said. Yeah.
Yeah, Perry. That's because she was timed out. Was she timed out or kicked out? Because if you can't see any messages from her, no, I see it. There's one.
Oh, nice. Okay. The dink dink. That's good.
Dude, your stream bot has become like a freaking like just joke, like an inside joke.
Oh my word.
Understand? Or just like that dude's terrible. I hate that guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Streambot's got a little bit of attitude.
It does. It's sensitive.
Yep. Sensitive feel bads. I agree with you, Pearl. Just hope that both cases get closure soon. Yeah.
I want closure, but I also want all the people or the right people to be charged with the shit that they're being charged with, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Free brouhaha.
Start a campaign.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that something? I set it back up because we had, that one that kept popping in. Okay, we
Yeah.
got to deal with you. It blocked her for 300 seconds or a minute. I didn't think it blocked at all.
You know, it says 300 seconds, and I was like, oh, it's 300 seconds. And then one day, well, when I did it to James, I was like, wow, that's a really long time. And I did the math. I was like, that's like 5 fucking minutes. Wow, that's really brutal.
Like, oh my word. I bet you there must be a way for me to
Change the
adjust
timing
that.
on it.
Well, and I didn't think it was okay to kick people out. I didn't say it could do that. So yeah, you're right. Wait until the defense reads the angle in the discovery.
Oof.
Yeah, I agree with you, Melissa. Only one involved in Idaho, and Brian is so guilty. Yeah.
Yo, I read something the other day by
She probably buggered off all miffed. I have to check that out. Oh my goodness.
I saw something like it was like one of those short videos from Versace, who was putting out the actual video of the car driving around. They posted something about
we're talking about
a few people that I'd never heard of, like, and we're like the Moscow.
Right. Okay.
A few people I never heard of. They were like DJ so and so, like just random names. Like they're like, this person did this, that person did that. That's why you saw so and so running to the truck. Like I was like, what?
Oh, I know. They're really, really pushing because there's 8 hours unaccounted for. And okay, were they awake or were they sleeping? They're both. How did they know? How did they know that everyone was either in their bedroom or asleep by 4 o'clock? How did they know that if they were sleeping and got it? Dylan cannot be awoken by sounds and be awake seeing everybody go to bed. And she can't know that everyone went to bed by 4 and at the same time be sleeping and startled awake at sounds. It's just, yeah, his DNA it's his DNA. You betcha.
But to play devil's advocate here, as I always do, that can be explained away. If the only place you found his DNA and it was touch DNA and it was on the button of the sheath,
yeah,
that can be explained away.
Yeah.
I'm not saying completely away, right? But like you could you can bring that up in court. That's on the defense to do that.
Yeah, there was 2. Dylan and Bethany.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bethany was downstairs and Dylan was allegedly in that hallway. I mean, there's so many kids in that case saying that they knew, like,
Beforehand.
way beforehand. So, yeah, it's just, oh my.
I don't know what to
Oh
believe,
my.
like, unless I hear it. And I think in that case, a lot, like, I think I will even admit that we kind of jumped the gun a little bit we were kind of making fun of the cops, right? Like, we're like, what are you guys even doing? Why are you doing these, like, press conferences every day? And you're not, like, actually giving any info whatsoever. But they were. And when you read their statements that they had that they were posting online, they're very accurate. Like, now that you go back and you look at them, you're like, holy shite. Like,
Right.
they really were. Like, they were telling us the whole entire time what they had.
Yeah.
They were honest
Mhm.
about it.
Mhm.
And I think that's just like public. Like, we just want to know everything. But that's not necessarily our right to know everything.
No, some things have to be kept.
Yeah.
Just for having a successful case,
You need to.
you
You
know?
need to keep it
Yeah,
secret. Like,
you absolutely do. And yeah, the public we all just want to know. I don't think that gag orders are necessarily the way to go because the public will speculate so much. So there's got to be some kind of a happy medium. I still believe BK kept one of them alive so she could call 911. When she didn't, he returned to find out why and couldn't wait to see what he did on TV.
that's funny because I always thought that. Like, he returned for a reason. He wanted to know why it wasn't on the news yet. He went back
Mhm.
at like 9:30 in the morning.
That's right. Yeah.
And he went by there for a reason.
Mhm. I just thought he went by there hoping to see a crime scene in the middle of being discovered. You know? So, with that said, Abby and Libby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope that I just wanna see those families get some answers without being dragged through the mud.
I
You know
just
what I mean?
hope that they get the right ones.
Mhm.
All of it.
Absolutely.
Like, all of it. Not
Well,
just a half, not maybe, like, I want them to really have peace, and I'm not so sure anymore. But that's just my brain. I'm
yeah, and
this
well,
gives me pause. This document gives me pause.
it does. That's the problem. Is like I say, I still think that most of us are going, "What?" Like, still a little bit stunned, trying to I know I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of this. I don't have answers right now, you know? Do I believe that, Richard Allen is bridge guy? I really, really do. And I do. Can his defense, if this cop literally messed with the probable cause affidavit, oh my goodness gracious. If that's what screws this case for those families getting justice, I mean, it is perjury. The guy will get time, he'll
Mhm.
get in trouble for this in a big, big way. But
both sides will, the defense and anyone who they're calling out in that 8
mhm,
things you need to know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's just it's sad. It's sad all the way around.
Yeah. And
So,
again, yeah, like I'm not even looking at the Odinist's part. Like that to me, that's beyond anything.
yeah,
I read in between the lines and I'm thinking the way they described that crime scene, it sounds like it took time.
right. So do
And
you believe that you could extend that time to about at least 5 o'clock?
that would make the probable cause a lie then, because that's not when they saw him walking down the street.
Well, that would make the person who said that a perjurer, not necessarily
Well, I
the
mean, that
people who
person could have
told.
saw whatever they saw at that time. They could have really saw, like seen somebody.
Seen somebody. Yeah, they
It's
could have.
it's what how that statement is said in the probable cause that's in question.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, and I just don't think that that was the guy, whether it's Ron Logan or whether it's, um,
Whoever,
one of the
you
yeah,
know, like
whoever.
whoever, like it
It yeah. It just does not make sense that they're gonna go through all of that trouble of doing all of this and
just
then
to
just kind of
go
yeah.
be out in the open and be like, "Hey, look at me."
"Yeah, I'm here. Look at me. Blood and mud, blood and mud."
Don't don't mind
Yeah.
me now that I
Yeah.
see here. Uh,
Yeah, look the other way. Just yeah, okay, you guys just look over there. Look at the Who's Your Harvest store. Much better than, the muddy bloody guy. And
it's
I mean, yeah, and how this person can give much of a description as they're driving by?
yeah, mind
I
you,
don't
with the
know.
clothing that they're already describing that he's in,
Mhm.
how do you even know it's muddy or bloody?
That's it. Yeah, I don't know. Could she have seen somebody? She could have.
Yeah,
Was
absolutely.
it
I'm not denying that.
Mhm.
She could have seen somebody. I don't know if that's who she saw.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
and
It doesn't make
that's
sense for
what the defense is saying is like, hey,
yep.
this timeline doesn't make sense.
Well, and
It
it
doesn't make
just
sense.
yeah,
Like they're
no.
they're questioning the timeline. They're questioning like the statements,
Mhm.
or what's on the probable cause because they have seen the statements, original ones
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess we sit back and wait for them to have this hearing and just hope that there's good news. I would imagine they will have this hearing pretty quick. I can't I don't think that anybody's gonna sit on this kind of stuff.
Well, the judge is gonna have to review all of it,
Mhm,
and I would imagine that a good judge would probably sit and actually read it and look through
mhm.
it several times
Well, they
before.
have to have that hearing first though, right?
Yeah. Well, but he needs to look through all that stuff too. Like
Mhm,
he needs to make sure because it's with him. It like defense is going to come up with the judge, so the judge
mhm.
has to already review all these things beforehand.
Okay,
And
yeah. So you'd think he would be on that.
like he will know that all
Or
of the
her.
info, or her, yeah, like him or her will know all of the info and know
Yeah.
the evidence that's been presented and
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no
it's stressing
doubt.
me out, man. Like I'm stressed about this, like because
Yeah, it's not good news.
I don't know if Richard Allen did it. I don't know. I
Nope.
wasn't there.
This is it. Yeah.
I didn't see it happen, but I do know that if he is the guy and if all these things are true,
Mhm.
it's bad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And again, like there's enough to me, like him standing in the middle of like that bridge watching fish jump
Yeah.
or whatever he was watching.
The
It's like
lookout guy, whoever, or, whatever
I
role,
just
if there was more people, whatever role he played, like,
yeah,
you have to
yeah,
exclude him now just because your PCA was
let's hope not.
shoddy. Like,
Yeah. Let's hope that the end of this hearing, they have come to
no.
some kind of well, the judge will sit on it. He's probably not going to respond right away, right? Even after the
Bruja!
hearing. "Oh, is brouhaha free?
Welcome back.
Oh, brouhaha." "Here's a brouhaha, free brouhaha." I did not expect it to do that to you. The whole park was full of people. I'm sure lots of people saw a lot of people. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't full of people. Couple girls at the front at the very beginning of the trail, and then another woman who seen somebody on the bridge. They say that they only seen the one male, but isn't it interesting that the one male really isn't the one that looks like him at all? It's the young one that she says she's seen on the bridge. So that kind of like, what? There's that to it as well. So we're going to have to wait. And it's just like, oh my.
Yeah. I would hate to
Oh,
think
really,
that we
Perry?
failed public, failed.
I can limit my cussing, but the caps are hard. I'm going to give it a talking to and see what I can figure out. Thanks for joining the movement. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, no.
see,
Say
I hadn't
no.
heard that until a few days ago, actually.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, stuff is all sorts of stuff is coming out again, and this is the sad thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you remember
The
that
lady who
day?
made the younger sketch called it a 10 out of 10.
Do you remember that day that I didn't sleep for a whole weekend because I went like on a Delphi dive
Yeah.
and I watched this like particular channel
Mhm.
that looked at all angles, all of them,
Mhm.
and oh my Jesus, did I?
Oh,
These were
yeah.
names that were mentioned, like,
Yeah,
so
it
this
it
isn't
hurt
new.
your heart.
It did, like,
Yeah.
and this,
Yeah.
the things that are being said in this isn't anything new. These were things that were said back then.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to, like, maybe move my VPN around a little bit and take a look around there.
I know, Perry. I've been looking at that one too.
Mm. Karen Reed case. I'm gonna write it down.
It just a quick little summary about it. She's a wife or a girlfriend of a police officer who was found. His life was taken outside of a house. He was deceased. And they're blaming her for it, pretty
This
much.
is in Scotland?
No. In the US.
Oh, what am I? Oh, Perry's talking about one though that's in Scotland.
Karen Reed, that's here in the US.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I mean, these cases, it's like, oh, I think you're right, Blifton. I think they're in deep doo-doo. I do.
Because again, I want to mention again, like if the defense is lying, stretching the truth, like the truth on this whatsoever, if anything in this document is a lie by the defense, they will be disbarred.
Right. Right. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'm sure everybody else will too. That see if we hear anything about this hearing happening or coming up or what have you. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It makes me feel so bad for these families. It's like, oh my
I'm
God.
nervous. It makes me nervous. Like
So all of those names of the people that, we were kind of, well, we're not mentioning, they are all out there on a kabillion different channels.
Yeah.
And those channels will get, if you can find all the graphic stuff you want, it's all out there. I just feel like I can't be that girl.
Just bliffed.
Just bliffed.
We like blipping people out now. Like you're blipped. Sorry. You take your 5 years blipped out. What?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Guys, the document that we're actually referencing is out there. It is on Discord.
Yeah.
You can read it for yourself. We're not gonna mention names, so because that's not.
I just don't feel good about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, these people have not even been charged with anything, and I cannot go out saying their names. And have people.
You just don't want to be a part of that, and that's fair.
No,
Like,
I can't do it.
This is again what the justice system is supposed to be: is innocent till proven guilty. So there's no reason to go around doxing people, attacking people.
I just can't do it. Yeah, and I mean, if they get charged,
okay,
that's different.
Fair game.
Yeah, that's different. How did this get released? Well, they're saying that it was accidentally released by the defense. Accidentally.
No. It was
Not the
accidentally
defense?
received. It was accidentally released by the court. I would assume because the defense turned in a document and the court posted it.
Is that how that happened?
Yes, they posted it on the website and people immediately went and bought it and got it.
Yeah, I know that, I know I had it, toot sweet.
Yeah.
Like, it was just there, and it's like, "Oh my goodness." And, yeah, now that it's out there, like Mekci was just saying, other people can go out and dox them and do whatever. That's just not what this channel is about, so
yeah.
Yeah. If they I guess we're saying if they get charged, okay, fair game. But until that point, no. No.
be nice,
I
guys.
just think those guys are more apt to be running around attacking goats than they are humans, personally. It's just like,
Let me tell you
yeah.
an interesting story about STDs. Just kidding.
Ew. Ew. On that note, thank you so much for being here,
Thanks
Mekci.
for having me. It's always a pleasure. Glad it's a weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend, and we'll see everybody else in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.